So the first thing we're going to do is not factor out 8n. We're going to just factor out what? Yeah, you cannot factor out 8n. This has an n. This has an n. But this 80 does not have an n. So you can't factor out 8n. You can only factor out 8. So I'm going to write 8. And then inside the parentheses, I'm going to put what I've got once I factor. Okay, so I'm going to divide each term by 8, and I get n squared. Divide this term by 8, and I get plus 3n. Divide this term by 8, and I get negative 10. Okay? And now, I need to factor what's inside the parentheses. So I kind of ignore the 8, and I know that this is in quadratic form, n squared, then n, and then a number without a variable. And if it factors, it'll factor into two binomials. So n times n equals n squared. And I need to list my factors of 10. Okay? I've got 1 times 10, 2 times 5, and that's it. Now I ask myself, which one of these multiplies to be 10? Now both these multiply to be 10 and also adds to be 3. Well, I could do 5 minus 2, and that would give me 3, wouldn't it? So that means my 5 needs to be what? Positive. Say positive. And my 2 needs to be what? And the reason is positive 5 and negative 2 gives you positive 3. But then let's look at multiplying. Positive 5 times negative 2 is negative 10. Okay, now we're not done yet, because now I need to take each piece and set it equal to 0. The 8 does not have a variable in it, so there's no reason to set it equal to 0. So I'm going to set n plus 5 equal to 0 and n minus 2 equal to 0. And so I've got n plus 5 equals 0. And I'll subtract 5 on both sides. And so I get what? N equals negative 5. And I'll take n minus 2 and set it equal to 0. Add 2 on both sides. And so n equals 2. And so those are your two solutions. And what we're saying is, if we were to graph this original function in your calculator, if you'd go to y equals and put 8n squared plus 24n minus 80, the graph would cross the x-axis at negative 5 and at 2.